After 3 decades of anticipation, the B-21 Raider, the most advanced next-generation stealth bomber, has finally been unveiled to the world. Developed by Northrop Grumman in partnership with the United States Air Force, the program received over $11 billion in funding in the past 4 years. This investment, involving 400 suppliers across 40 states, led to the creation of this groundbreaking aircraft that's about to take over from the B-2 Spirit. What are the capabilities of this new bomber? Is the United States B-21 Raider truly unrivaled? Join us as we delve into the advanced capabilities of the new 700 million nuclear bomber that would have a devastating impact on Russia and China. The Northrop Grumman B-21 Raider is a new strategic bomber that is being developed for the United States Air Force by a renowned defense company, Northrop Grumman. As a part of the Long-Range Strike Bomber program, it's designed to be a long-range stealth bomber capable of carrying not only conventional, but nuclear weapons. The B-21 is set to replace the B-1 Lancer and B-2 Spirit by 2040 and might also replace the B-52 Stratofortress later on. The development of this advanced bomber began in 2011, with the main development contract awarded in 2015. This nuclear bomber had its first flight on November 10, 2023, and is expected to enter service by 2027. A 2015 media report mentioned that the Air Force wanted the new bomber to also serve as an intelligence collector, battle manager, and interceptor. In 2016, then Secretary of the Air Force Deborah Lee James called the B-21 a fifth-generation global precision attack platform with advanced network sensors. However, on December 2, 2022, the Raider was revealed to the public at Northrop Grumman's facility in Palmdale, California. This event marked the debut of the first bomber of the 21st century and the first aircraft designed, developed, and qualified as a sixth-generation aircraft, similar to the upcoming NGAD fighter. Later that year, it was officially named Raider in honor of the Doolittle Raiders, with retired Lieutenant Colonel Richard E. Cole, the last living member of the Doolittle Raiders, present at the naming ceremony. Since its inception, the U.S. Air Force has aimed to create a versatile, optionally manned bomber that leads a larger family of systems for long-range strikes, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and electronic warfare. Determined to achieve top quality, the Air Force sought proposals from top contractors to build the new bomber. This led to a fierce competition between a Boeing Lockheed Martin team and Northrop Grumman, 3 of the world's biggest defense giants. 4 years into the program, Northrop Grumman, leveraging its decades of experience with the B-2 stealth bomber, emerged victorious. They won the contract to develop the B-21 by offering the best balance of cost and capabilities as required by the Air Force. In March 2016, the Air Force announced 7 top suppliers for the B-21 program: Pratt & Whitney, BAE Systems, Spirit AeroSystems, Orbital ATK, Rockwell Collins, GKN Aerospace, and Janucki Industries. Chris Bogdan, the F-35 program manager, noted that the B-21's engines would be similar to the F-35 Pratt & Whitney F-135 engine, aiming to reduce costs. And cost is indeed a crucial point to consider when developing stealth bombers. This was a lesson learned from the B-2, whose $2 billion unit cost is similar to the GDPs of more than 20 countries. Northrop Grumman was able to cut the B-21 unit cost down to an impressive $630 million per bomber, while still equipping it with capabilities never seen before. This makes this new bomber about 68% less costly than the B-2, but significantly more capable. Now to its unique capabilities, the B-21 is a versatile aircraft that can handle various tasks. It has the ability to gather important information through reconnaissance and surveillance, manage battles by coordinating with allies across different areas, and carry out global precision attacks. With its stealth, heavy payload, and long-range strike capabilities, it can deliver powerful weapons to crucial targets during vital missions. To truly understand the B-21's incredible capabilities, one needs to look at 3 key areas, which are stealth, avionics, and armament. Building on 5 decades of advancements in low observable technology, the Raider is designed to be a stealth aircraft from the ground up. Expect features like precisely aligned edges, serrated skin panels, engine masking with specialized coatings, and an overall flying wing shape. These are just a glimpse of the cutting-edge innovations that will make the B-21 a game-changer in modern aviation. Similar to the B-2, the B-21 might also be painted in anti-reflective paint to reduce optical visibility during daylight flights. The undersides will be such that at altitudes of over 50,000 feet, the bomber will blend perfectly into the sky. To make sure it stays hidden in the sky at all times, the B-21 will have an upward-facing light sensor that alerts the pilot to adjust the altitude to match the changing brightness of the sky. These features combined together create a bomber so stealthy that even the most advanced air defense systems won't be able to detect it as it flies above. Now let's move on to avionics. To make sure that the B-21 is even more effective than older bombers like its predecessor, it will be equipped with many advanced and modern avionics that work together as one integrated system. These include a multi-mode radar, a fully digital navigation system combined with terrain-following radar and GPS guidance, and an astro-inertial navigation system that uses stars and planets to navigate. It will also have an AESA radar, an electronic warfare system, a distributed aperture system, and an electro-optical targeting system, among other advanced features. For battlefield communications, the radar will make use of Link 16 and a high-frequency satellite link. It will also have a defensive management system that alerts the flight crew to potential threats and updates the autorouter's mission planning information in real time. This means the bomber can quickly adapt to new data and plan routes that minimize exposure to danger. As a key player in the sensor fusion system, the B-21 will act as an intelligent battle manager, much like the F-35 Lightning II fighter. To one of the most important parts of a bomber, the lethality and amount of armaments that it is capable of carrying, the Raider will be capable of carrying over 30,000 pounds of armament consisting of a variety of nuclear weapons like the B-61 variable yield nuclear gravity bomb and the long-range standoff nuclear cruise missile. But that's far from all it will carry. The Raider will also be equipped to handle a large number of conventional weapons that will enable the aircraft to play an active role in combat operations around the world. This bomber, inheriting the prowess of its older counterpart, the B-1 Lancer, will be equipped to launch Lockheed Martin's long-range anti-ship missiles. Additionally, it will likely be armed with advanced munitions like Boeing's GPS-guided Joint Direct Attack munition, capable of striking targets from significant distances. These capabilities make the B-21 an ideal stealth bomber for engaging surface combatant ships in strategic areas like the South China Sea. As one of the most lethal aircraft ever developed, the Air Force plans to acquire at least 100 B-21s, with the potential to increase this number to 145 if the bomber performs exceptionally well during its post-2023 test flights. This formidable fleet will ensure the B-21's dominance in modern aerial warfare. When this new bomber is finally introduced into service, it will initially work alongside other strategic bombers in the United States fleet before eventually replacing both the B-1 and the B-1, marking the end of the decades-long B-2 dominance. However, this time the American bomber will have to overcome near-peer competitors like the new bombers from Russia and China. The B-20 is up against the Russian PAK-DA and the Chinese H-20. However, all three aircraft are similar in many ways, which makes the future of the bomber space quite an interesting one. They are all to be long-range, low-observable strategic bombers for their respective air forces. They all have the same flying wing design and consequently would all have subsonic top speeds. All three are expected to be armed with heavy payloads of cruise missiles, hypersonic missiles, precision conventional and nuclear bombs, and also wield the most advanced electronic warfare and stealth technologies their countries could offer. However, if decades of history are anything to go by, Russia hardly prioritizes stealth over artillery, and so the PAK-DA will likely be significantly less stealthy than the B-21 and H-20. It would hold the most weapons, though, up to 80,000 pounds, which is a major achievement compared to the confirmed 30,000 plus pounds of the B-21 and the projected 22,000 pounds minimum of the H-20. The Russian aerospace forces currently rely on a trio of powerful aircraft for their long-range strategic bombing and standoff missions: the Tu-95 Bear, Tu-160 White Swan, in the Tu-22M swing wing. However, the game is about to change. The Pak-Do, a next-generation stealth bomber, is set to replace the aging Tu-95, while the Tu-160 and Tu-22M continue to dominate the skies. According to recent reports, we can expect the Pak-Do to be delivered between 2025 and 2030. This timeline places it in line to join an exclusive club of stealth bombers. After the American B-2 Spirit, the Pak-Do and the Chinese H-20 will be the second and third operational flying wing stealth bombers in the world. TASS has reported that the Pak-Da project, described as a promising long-range aviation complex, is moving forward right on schedule. Rostec, the parent company overseeing Russian state-owned arms manufacturing, has assured that the aircraft's parameters required by the military department are being met. The United Aircraft Corporation is following the Pak-Da project, ensuring it aligns with the approved schedule. Officials have confirmed that the design, technology, and performance specifications stipulated by the Russian aerospace forces remain unchanged. Maintaining the original specifications is crucial, as revisions often lead to delays. Such delays can arise from various issues, including the failure to anticipate technological evolution or unclear military concepts. Sometimes a lack of consensus among military planners on the weapon's performance can cause setbacks. In rare cases, technical and engineering challenges from the developer's end can also lead to delays. With the Pak-Da, Russia is poised to usher in a new era of strategic bombing, maintaining its edge in aerospace technology and military might. The world watches closely as this formidable aircraft is gradually becoming a reality. Russian defense projects often follow a pattern of matching the United States by developing similar types of weapons, but not directly competing in the core military technologies. Instead, Russia takes an independent path. For instance, the Su-57 Felon was developed to rival the F-22 and F-35, but it does not rely on expensive stealth materials, paints, and coatings, which are costly to maintain. Instead, the Su-57 compensates for its lack of pure stealth with a larger payload, air-to-ground capabilities, higher speed, and a wide range of sensors. The Pak-Do is designed as a flying wing and uses materials and technologies that make it less visible to radar. Also, the aircraft will be able to carry current and future strategic cruise missiles, precision bombs, and hypersonic weapons. It will also have the latest communications and electronic warfare equipment and will fly at subsonic speeds. The mention of electronic warfare equipment suggests capabilities similar to the B-21. Previous reports have highlighted that the Pak-Do is intended to be a data gathering and sensor fusion powerhouse with strong electronic intelligence technologies to jam and penetrate enemy air defense systems and perform standoff strikes before returning. Additionally, it's likely that the airframe panels will be made from advanced stealth materials. Russia is expected to develop its own radar-absorbing paints and alloys, in addition to designing the airframe to minimize radar detection. If the first units are to be delivered by 2025, prototypes should be ready by 2023, with ground testing completed by the end of the year and flight and weapons trials finished by 2024. However, the upper limit of this timeline extends to the late 2020s, likely after 2027 and possibly as late as 2035. In August 2021, an industry source mentioned that a demonstration model of the Pak-Do would be assembled by 2023. The rest of the year will reveal if this schedule is maintained. On the other hand, China has matched the US not only in the types of stealth projects like the J-20 and J-31, but also in the core defense technologies such as radar-evading materials and sensor fusion computing. This might be because Beijing is more likely to face conflicts with the US, where aggressive policies are supported by both Democrats and Republicans. China is presently developing its very own stealth bomber, the Xi'an H-20. The Xi'an H-20 is a planned subsonic stealth bomber for the People's Liberation Army Air Force. It is considered a strategic project by the People's Liberation Army and will be China's first dedicated strategic bomber. The development of this bomber was announced in September 2016. In 2016, during an open day for the People's Liberation Army Air Force, General Ma Xiaoshen made a thrilling announcement. China was developing a new type of long-range bomber. By 2018, a Chinese military spokesperson added to the excitement, confirming that the project was making great progress. According to the United States Department of Defense, the H-20 is expected to be a cutting-edge flying wing with a range of at least 8,500 kilometers and a payload capacity of over 10 tons. The RAND Corporation, an American think tank, suggests that this bomber will enable China to effectively threaten United States targets within and beyond the second island chain, including key military bases in Guam and Hawaii. Its payload is anticipated to include both conventional and nuclear weapons. Over the years, numerous models and computer-generated images of the Chinese bomber have surfaced online, some published by state-owned defense company magazines. Defense analysts have noted several distinctive features on these models, including serrated air intakes, cranked kite wings, and foldable twin-tail surfaces that can switch between horizontal tailplanes and V-tails. In July 2022, Chinese state media hinted that the H-20 was on the verge of its maiden flight. By March 2024, during the second session of the 14th National People's Congress, Wang Wei, the vice commander of the PLAAF, announced that the H-20 would be revealed very soon. It is worth noting, though, that the United States has far greater experience in stealth and in developing bombers. Therefore, in a conversation of stealth bombers, the country will probably take the lead. In terms of timelines, it already has, as the B-21 is currently the only one of the three to have been unveiled and will soon join its predecessors in service as the second flying wing bomber of the U.S. Air Force. Now that the B-21 is replacing the B-2, what will be the future of the B-2 Spirit? The B-21 is lighter, smaller, and carries only half the payload of the B-2, but it addresses the biggest problem of the U.S. stealth bomber fleet: the high cost of development and maintenance. This cost issue has limited the Air Force to just 20 stealth bombers for many years. To compensate for this, hundreds of B-21s will be built, compensating for the aircraft's smaller size. With so many B-21s, they could cover the entire globe, making it unlikely there would be room for two fleets of unbeatable American stealth bombers. The Raider has a big role to fill. It has to live up to the impressive 30-year legacy of its predecessors and must instill fear in the enemy every time it takes flight. It was earlier mentioned that the B-21 would be replacing the B-1 Lancer and B-2 Spirit by 2030. However, the B-52 that has been developed since the 1950s is slated to stay longer in service than the recently built bombers. Why is that? The Boeing B-52 Stratofortress, a long-range subsonic jet-powered bomber used by the USAF for a very long time and NASA for over 40 years, is capable of carrying up to 70,000 pounds of weapons and having a combat range of around 8,800 miles without refueling. The bomber evolved from a straight-wing design to an 8-engine, swept-wing aircraft. It first flew in 1952 and has remained in service due to its high performance and low operating costs, despite the development of more advanced bombers. This rare feature is what gives it an edge over the older bombers, and is one of many reasons it would remain in service longer than the B-2 and the B-1 Lancer. The B-52, often called the Bluff, primarily dropped conventional munitions in combat and has seen action in multiple wars. From 1957, the B-52G and H models were upgraded to carry up to 20 AGM-69 SRAM nuclear missiles, enhancing their offensive capabilities. They were later equipped with AGM-86B air-launched cruise missiles, with 194 B-52s modified to carry these on underwing pylons and in the bomb bay. Some B-52Gs were also modified for conventional bombing, anti-ship missions with AGM-84 Harpoon missiles, and carrying AGM-142 HAVNAP standoff missiles. The Conventional Enhancement Modification Program further upgraded the B-52H to carry modern weapons like JDAMs and AGM-158 JSSM missiles, added new radios, and integrated GPS. By 2010, the B-52 shifted focus to nuclear cruise missiles and conventional strikes, no longer carrying nuclear gravity bombs. Future upgrades include the AGM-183A hypersonic missile and the long-range standoff nuclear cruise missile. As of 2022, 72 B-52s are in service, with plans for them to remain operational into the 2050s after recent upgrades. Back to the next new thing, the B-21 Raider. This bomber is the perfect replacement for the formidable B-2. Packed with the most advanced capabilities, this bomber is ready to dominate the skies. Thanks for watching. While you are still here, click on the link on your screen to check out another of our videos. See you there.